So then guys, spring is in full swing, the weather is getting warmer, and we've got lots of exciting game releases over the next few weeks. In this video, we'll be diving deep into the hottest games being released throughout the month of April, from fresh indie platformers to zombie shooters to city builders and beyond. But before we jump into it, I wanted to give a friendly reminder that if you do enjoy the video, then please consider dropping it a like and subscribing to the channel for more content. Your support is very much appreciated. Right then, let's kick things off with No Rest for the Wicked, an action role-playing game being developed by Moon Studios. Moon Studios are most well known for producing the adventure game Ori and the Blind Forest, which released in 2015. However, unlike their previous titles, No Rest for the Wicked takes the form of an action role-playing game that is played from a top-down perspective, similar to something like Diablo 4, Path of Exile, and the more recent Last Epoch. However, as with their previous titles, Moon Studios are looking to mix things up a bit by adding their own individual twist to differentiate themselves from an already established ARPG genre. Taking inspiration from Soulslike games, you'll find that each enemy encounter will be a challenge and require a more methodical and thought-out approach to combat compared to your typical ARPG. Different weapon types have their own light and heavy attacks, which in turn can be set up into their own unique combos. Players are also able to sprint, block, parry, and dodge, each of which can set up additional attack modifiers as well. For example, running up or dodging behind an enemy will allow you to perform a backstab attack for additional damage. Set in the year 841, you assume control of a holy warrior who is tasked with investigating a mysterious plague called the Pestilence. The game heavily features interwoven design throughout its levels, which in turn encourages exploration in order to find hidden chests and materials that can later be used for crafting and upgrading your items. The game also features additional activities that include fishing and farming for when you want to take a little bit of a breather from fighting the plagued abominations that are scattered throughout the world. Cooperative multiplayer also means you can take on the challenges of the game with up to 3 of your friends, so you don't have to face the dangers alone. And the game also features a PvP mode as well for those that enjoy a bit of competitive multiplayer gameplay. If all of this piques your interest, then make sure to check it out on April 18th when it launches across PC, PlayStation and Xbox. Up next, we have Stellar Blade, another Souls-like game that is being launched exclusively across PlayStation later this month. The action role-playing game is played from the perspective of Eve, who serves as the central protagonist throughout the story. The game features a traditional third-person perspective with combat focusing on learning your enemy's attack patterns in order to precisely time your own attacks, dodges, and parries. Successfully timed parries and dodges allow you to build up an energy called Beta Gauge, which can then be used to activate skills such as interruptions and armor reductions to help you take down your enemies. In a similar fashion, successfully timed parries and combo attacks will build up your burst gauge, which in turn allows you to grant yourself powerful buffs and perform more powerful attacks. In terms of the story, Stellar Blade is set in a world where humanity has been driven from Earth after losing a war against an invading alien race. In order to reclaim it, Eve and her team are deployed to Earth, where they eventually meet and enlist the help of residents from Zion, humanity's last remaining city on Earth. Being developed on the Unreal 4 engine, the game is visually impressive and features some truly epic in-game cutscenes that allow you to really appreciate the high fidelity of this game. High quality skin shaders along with detailed facial animations coupled with some truly impressive lighting interactions on things like your armor and the environment around you make it a truly immersive experience. Another standout feature that makes Stellar Blade such an immersive experience is the game's physics, with things like Eve's hair, armor and sword flowing seamlessly during movement and combat. This, coupled with impressive explosions, flying debris and particle effects, help make the environment around you feel truly alive as you traverse through them. Stellar Blade officially launches for PlayStation on April 26th. However, if you want to sink your teeth in before then, a free demo is available to play right now on the PlayStation Store, currently sitting at a 4.81 out of 5-star rating with over 10,000 reviews. Moving on to our next title, we have Gigantic Rampage Edition, a third-person MOBA hero shooter focused on 5v5 team-based combat. For those of you thinking that this game looks oddly familiar, that's because the first iteration of this game originally launched back in July 2017, having been developed by Motiga and published by Perfect World Entertainment. The original version of the game was built around a free-to-play live service model, but shut down only a year later in July 2018. However, Gigantic is getting a second lease of life after Perfect World Entertainment was sold to Embracer Group back in 2022 and being rebranded as Gearbox Publishing, with Abstraction Games as the new developer. Abstraction have helped to co-develop a number of titles over the last few years, including Baldur's Gate 3 and Mass Effect's Legendary Edition. With this latest version of the game, Gigantic Rampage Edition will thankfully be moving away from a free-to-play live service model and will instead launch as a pay-to-play title with added content and no, yes I said no, microtransactions. In terms of gameplay, Gigantic is built around a third-person hero shooter within a MOBA environment, with players selecting and customizing heroes that each have different abilities that cater towards different playstyles. Players will enter an arena along with 4 other teammates plus a guardian, basically a giant NPC creature, with the overall goal being to kill the enemy team's guardian before they kill yours. In order to do this, teams will need to increase their power level by killing enemies and collecting power orbs. Once your team reaches a power level of 100, you'll be able to take on the enemy team's guardian, but keep in mind that the enemy team will obviously be doing everything they can to stop you whilst also building up their own power level. The game includes several game modes, with the standard Clash 5v5 mode from the original game, Rush, a 5v5 more accessible, fast-paced mode with matches typically lasting around 10 minutes, as well as a competitive ranked and custom game modes. Completing matches will earn you XP towards general, weekly and hero-specific missions, which in turn rewards you with in-game currency to spend on things like cosmetics, hero skins, etc. Another new feature for this latest version of the game is the ability to cross-play across PC, Xbox and PlayStation, having only been available on PC and Xbox originally. If all of this sounds interesting to you, then you'll be happy to hear that Gigantic Rampage Edition is set to launch in just a few days on 9th of April. Right, up next we have Sker Ritual, a game that should pique the interest of any CoD Zombie fans out there, particularly those who have been missing the original round-based zombie games that we came to know and love from the older Call of Duty titles. Sker Ritual, developed by independent studio Wales Interactive, is in some respects a sequel to their atmospheric stealth horror game Made of Sker, which came out back in 2020. However, unlike Made of Sker, Sker Ritual replaces the atmospheric horror theme for a more fast-paced zombie shooter that sees players taking on waves of enemies in order to score bonuses and unlock upgrades. The game can be played either solo or co-op and sees players tasked with completing various objectives, all while battling waves of zombies in order to unlock new areas. Now, whilst you can focus purely on killing hundreds of enemies and trying to last as many waves as you can, arguably the more interesting approach is to complete the tasks which grant you access to new areas and eventually an end boss fight. These tasks are generally quite simple, for example destroying generators or guarding a specific zone from enemy waves as a timer runs down. Players start each new stage with a simple pistol, but are able to unlock new weapons and upgrades with points earned from killing enemies. These points are also needed to unlock barriers to eventually progress through the level, so players will need to balance this along with their weapon progression. Each wave becomes progressively more difficult and intense, so rushing through the game too quickly can leave you underleveled. At the same time, while staying static for too long can see you become overwhelmed by the horde of oncoming enemies. Sker Ritual originally launched on Steam Early Access back in October 2022 and will be fully released for PC, PlayStation and Xbox on April 18th. Moving on to our next title, we have something a little bit different with the highly anticipated Manor Lords, a passion project created by a solo game developer going by the name of Slavic Magic. Manor Lords ambitiously looks to provide players with a blend of both strategy and simulation, all within a medieval setting. Drawing inspiration from classics like the Total War series and city building simulators, Manor Lords delivers a unique gaming experience that combines large-scale strategy with intricate management of individual settlements, aka manors. At its core, Manor Lords revolves around the management of a medieval settlement, or your manor, where players can take on the role of a feudal lord tasked with overseeing every aspect of their domain's growth and prosperity. The game offers a comprehensive simulation of medieval life, from managing resources and infrastructure to diplomacy and warfare. Players begin by establishing their settlement from humble beginnings, strategically placing buildings and infrastructure to support their growing population. From farms and markets to barracks and blacksmiths, every decision influences the development of the town and its inhabitants. At the heart of Manor Lords lies a robust economy, with players needing to balance production, trade and taxation to ensure the prosperity of their settlement. Resource management, trade routes and economic policies all play a crucial role in maintaining stability and growth. In a world filled with rival lords and shifting alliances, diplomacy becomes a vital tool for survival as well, with players having to navigate a complex web of relationships. This includes forging alliances, negotiating treaties, and engaging in political intrigue to secure their interests and expand their influence. When diplomacy fails, Manor Lords also offers real-time battles that allow players to build and command their armies on the field. From skirmishes to epic sieges, tactical and strategic thinking will be key to achieving victory and solidifying your place in this medieval world. Scheduled to release on April 26th, Manor Lords aims to captivate fans of both the city building and RTS genres. Up next, we have Tales of Kenzera, Zao, a brand new single-player and action-adventure game developed by Surgeon Studios, with this being their debut project. The studio was founded in 2019 by Abu Bakr Salim, who gamers might recognise as the voice of Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins. Salim's creative vision for Tales of Kenzera draws inspiration from his own personal experience with grief and his exposure to tribal cultures while filming Raised by Wolves in South Africa. The narrative in Tales of Kenzera is drawn by Zhao's personal tragedy. After losing his father, Zhao ventures into the fantastical realm of Kenzera, a land once brimming with life but now overrun by restless spirits. Driven by love and a flicker of hope, Zhao seeks to make a deal with the god of death himself to bring his father's spirit back from the darkness. Tales of Kenzera falls under the Metroidvania genre of games, meaning you'll explore a sprawling, interconnected world, unlocking new areas and abilities as you progress. The game features rhythmic combat where Zhao utilizes the power of the sun and moon to vanquish his enemies, and mastering the switching between these two sources of power will become key to overcoming the challenges and encounters as you progress through the game. With its emotional core inspired by real-life experiences and its unique blend of exploration, combat, and rich cultural influences, Tales of Kenzera promises to be a captivating adventure for gamers seeking a story that resonates on a deeper level. Tales of Kenzera will launch on 23rd of April across PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And last but by no means least, we have Ereban Shadow Legacy, a fast-paced, story-driven stealth platformer developed by Baby Robot Games. Ereban Shadow Legacy places you in the shoes of Ayana, the last descendant of a forgotten race known as the Ereban. Wielding the unique power to merge with shadows, Ayana embarks on a mission to uncover the truth about her past and a mysterious connection to the enigmatic energy megacorporation Helios. The narrative unfolds in a morally grey sci-fi universe on the brink of collapse, where choices have consequences and the lines between good and evil are blurred. The core gameplay of Ereban Shadow Legacy hinges on the combination of Ayana's agility, mystical shadow abilities, and high-tech gadgets. The signature Shadow Merge mechanic allows you to become one with the shadows, navigating unseen through the environments, scaling walls, and launching surprise attacks on unsuspecting enemies. But stealth isn't your only option. You can choose to take a more aggressive approach, utilizing a variety of gadgets to overcome obstacles and eliminate foes. The game caters to both playstyles, allowing you to decide whether to be a silent assassin or a forceful warrior. Ereban Shadow Legacy promises a world rich in atmosphere and intrigue. As Ayana delves deeper into the conspiracy, she uncovers the secrets of her lineage and the forgotten legacy of the Ereban. With its blend of fast-paced action, stealthy maneuvers, and a complex narrative set in a morally ambiguous world, Ereban Shadow Legacy is poised to be a captivating debut for Baby Robot Games. Ereban Shadow Legacy launches across Xbox and Windows on April 10th. Right, that's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully there's one or two titles in there that got you excited for the month of April. Let me know down in the comments below, and again, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Until then, goodbye.